everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, if you are new here, hello. My name is JoJo and this is JoJo Budgets. So today's video we are going to be doing a budget for paycheck number 3, which I have never done one of those before. Just with how the month of July is, there are 5 Fridays. My husband and I get paid every other week, so we just so happen to have an extra paycheck in July, because as you can see we do get 2 paychecks in the month of August. So we normally have a paycheck number 1 and a paycheck number 2, and we do follow a paycheck by paycheck zero-based budget system, but it's usually that paycheck number 1 gets completely rolled over to paycheck number 2, and then we zero out paycheck number 2, and that money gets applied towards debt or considered our cash flow. So we had paycheck number 3 and we weren't really sure what to do with that since we are zeroing it out. But what we are going to do is go ahead and have it continue to cover the 2 weeks worth of bills that I have written down here. So I have gone ahead and filled out my bills section just for the sake of saving time. And I do that by using this index card that I put together, because for those of you who are new here, my husband and I are new to budgeting as of September of last year, and trying to assign every dollar a job before the money was here was really hard, because we really didn't even know when all of our bill due dates were, and there were honestly some that we didn't even realize were coming out, especially subscriptions and things like that. So I put together this card, and this has been so helpful. So if that's something you're finding you're struggling with, I would highly recommend putting something together like this. And I do also have our expected amounts for each bill listed on the card. So everything's been filled out. We do follow the Budget Mom's principles as far as highlighting each paycheck and then highlighting the bills that it's going to cover for the month. So you can see I've already highlighted the mortgage here. It's in pink, and that is because just how the paychecks did fall. Paycheck number 2, which is highlighted in pink, ended up covering the mortgage. And if you want to see more about how I explain that, I'll leave my paycheck number 2 budget video in the description box below. Right, but we're going to go ahead and we're choosing this beautiful blue. We're going to draw our cloud. For those of you who watched my paycheck 1 budget video, my Bob Ross moment, my happy clouds. And then we'll go ahead and highlight all of the bills. You guys might hear my dog. We have some old dogs and she is whining to go outside. So hang on just a second. Okay, and I'm back. So, yeah, just let the dog out, all is well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight all of our expected fixed expenses up until paycheck number 1 is going to be deposited. So everything has been highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over to my paycheck budget sheet where I will pull my bills into that document. Alright, so here we are with my paycheck budget sheet. I did have some inquiries about if these were sheets that I had created, the ones that I use throughout my videos, and they're ones that I've kind of Frankenstein just by gaining inspiration from other YouTube budgeters. Just as I'd mentioned, because if we were new to this, so I really didn't have anything. A lot of this stuff has been repurposed or things that I have created myself. So yes, these are documents that I have made, and I did go ahead and post them on an Etsy shop. I'll link the shop in the description box below if you feel that these would be helpful for you, which I find to be so humbling because I gained a lot of inspiration from the YouTube budgeters on this channel, and that would just be amazing and so heartwarming to know that I could be helping someone as well, someone like me. So this is my paycheck budget sheet. All of these are customizable as well, like I said. You know, if I could change them in a way that would suit you best, like if you don't do a paycheck by paycheck budget system, or you get paid like salary once a month, something like that. And then I also posted the transaction log, and I'm currently repurposing an 8x9 budget planner, or just a binder that I had, not a budget planner. It's just a household binder that I'd created that was lying around the house and is actually kind of falling apart. So these are 8.5 by 11 tables. That there's 2 per sheet, and I cut them in half so they're smaller, which I do like that. The binder I'm using fits nicely into a desk drawer that I have, so I do like the compact size. But I did create these on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so if you want different sizes, just let me know. And same with my weekly check-in sheet, I listed that as well. And again, this is on a smaller scale, but and I posted it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, but I can resize it. That would be no problem. All right, so I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that, because I did mention in my response to the comments that I would let you guys know. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on filling out our paycheck number 3. And the dates that it is covering is going to be from July 31st to August 13th, which I don't know where July is going. I feel like it has just been going at lightning speed. It's crazy. Okay, so next is income. So income number 1, it is direct deposited every Thursday, so I expect it to be deposited on the 30th. And as I mentioned yesterday, my new expected amount is going to be $2,870. It used to be $2,800, but I was able to see what the raise is going to be on that paycheck. And income number 2 will be deposited on the 31st, and I will leave it at the $1,000. We're not expecting income number 3 or any rollover or any extra, so I'll just leave those blank and go ahead and write my expected total. So $3,870. There we go. Now we're just going to move down to our fixed expenses, and this is where I use my household calendar along with my index card to help me fill out my fixed expenses with their due dates and their expected amounts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. I've gone ahead and filled out all of the fixed expenses with their expected amounts that paycheck number 3 is expected to cover. So the total expected fixed expenses comes to $2,351.88. Okay. Now we're going to come over to our variable expenses. So these are the categories that our family has. As I mentioned, I'm married and we have 3 kids and several pets. So first, for groceries, we budget $400 to last us 2 weeks, and we have been doing a lot better on that. I think the weekly check-ins has been so helpful in keeping us on our grocery and eating out budget. Or you can definitely tell on weeks that we eat out more, we spend less on groceries. So overall, it ends up being less. But yeah, as I've mentioned before, just the summer months, even with everything going on, like we've been doing a lot of outdoor activities. like going up to the lake and things like that. So just gas and eating out, you know, it's not ever really anything fancy, because you guys, I'm telling you, for my family and I to go to a nice restaurant, we walk out with at least $100 bill. But this is usually like, we'll stop at the gas station or fast food, pizza, things like that. All right, so here are all of my variable expenses, their expected amounts for each category, for each person. And now what we will do is calculate our expected ending amount after income and expenses are all paid. So what we do for that is we will go ahead and take the expected income, so $38.70 minus, $23.51.88 minus the $9.15. So $603.12 is what we will have at the end. And so what we are planning on doing with that is throwing that at debt as well. So there's going to be a huge chunk of money going towards debt, and that is this bottom table right here. So for those of you who have been following along with us on this journey, we have paid off 3 debts so far. We've been following the debt tsunami and debt avalanche method. So we have been fortunate enough to have quite a few 0% interest loans that we were paying off. So really the only one that's accruing interest at this time is student loan number 2, but it's a huge chunk of interest. We're currently focusing on paying off student loan number 1, and I'll pull in, this is paycheck number 2. So yesterday we talked about the new repayment method for this loan. So student loan number 1, it started out at about $10,000. We started our journey in February and began focusing on this student loan the end of May. So it's down to $2,151.79. Right now, our repayment plan is to be following like a zero-based instead of a snowball. The snowball is going to be accumulated throughout the month, and then when we calculate our cash flow at the end of the month after all expenses have come out, it comes to $1,789.30 is the expected amount. Next week, I'm going to be zeroing out paycheck number 2, and we'll find out what the actual amount is during our week 4 check-in. And then that number will be pulled down to here, subtracted from student loan number 1, and then we'll come up with our new ending balance and a new total on our debt. We started with the 6-figure debt in February, or down to a little under $70,000, which I was just so excited to see that we are in the 60,000s, and seeing those numbers ticking down has been so exciting. I do a quarterly debt and net worth assessment, but this table just helps to keep us on task and to keep us motivated by watching the numbers come down. So as soon as I figure out next Thursday what the new balance will be on student loan number 1, this $603.12 is also going to be thrown at student loan number 1. But you guys, I have a feeling that there's still going to be some of this left over, and it can start to go towards student loan number 2. And as I mentioned, this is an interest accruing loan, and we're coming up with kind of searching the internet, YouTube for inspiration on different repayment methods, but more to come on that. Since this is such a huge amount, we'll be focused on this one for a while, and I just want to find a way to save myself as much money on interest as possible in order to bring down this loan. But that is going to wrap up this video. This is how we set up our paycheck budgets and what my plan was for a paycheck number 3 budget. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you are enjoying the contents of this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post 2 videos every week, one on Thursday and one on Friday. As I mentioned, next week we'll be doing a week 4 check-in, paying off more debt with a huge chunk, and also on Friday will be me closing out my sinking funds. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.